Today our topic is the role of humor in Stoicism. Stoicism is a philosophy that teaches us how to live a good life by focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. It is about finding peace and strength in the face of challenges, and it often involves serious thinking about life, death, and our place in the world. But what many people do not realize is that humor plays an important role in Stoicism. Yes, humor. It might seem strange to think that a philosophy about being calm and disciplined would include laughter. But it does. Humor helps us see the world in a different way, and it can make difficult situations easier to handle. Let me explain why humor is so important in Stoicism and how we can use it to improve our lives. First, let's talk about what Stoicism is. Stoicism was founded in ancient Greece by a man named Zeno, and it was later developed by philosophers like Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius. The main idea of Stoicism is that we cannot control everything in life. Bad things will happen, people will disappoint us, and we will face challenges that we did not expect. But what we can control is how we react to these things. Stoics believe that by focusing on our own thoughts and actions, we can find peace and happiness, no matter what happens around us. This is a powerful idea, but it is not always easy to do. Life can be hard, and sometimes it feels like everything is going wrong. This is where humor comes in. Humor helps us see the world in a different way. When something bad happens, we can choose to be upset, or we can choose to find something funny about it. This does not mean we should ignore our problems or pretend that everything is fine. Instead, it means we can use humor to lighten our mood and give ourselves a break from the stress. For example, imagine you are running late for an important meeting and then you spill coffee on your shirt. You could get angry and frustrated, or you could laugh at how ridiculous the situation is. By choosing to laugh, you remind yourself that life is full of small, unexpected moments, and not everything needs to be taken so seriously. This is a very Stoic way of thinking. Another reason humor is important in Stoicism is that it helps us accept the things we cannot control. Stoics believe that we should not waste our energy on things that are outside of our control, like the weather, other people's opinions, or traffic jams. But it is not always easy to let go of these things. We might feel frustrated or annoyed when things do not go the way we want. Humor can help us let go of these feelings. When we laugh at a situation, we are saying, "This is not worth my anger or frustration." It is a way of accepting the situation and moving on. For example, if you are stuck in traffic, you could get angry and honk your horn, or you could make a joke about how slow the cars are moving. By choosing to laugh, you are choosing to focus on what you can control, your own reaction, instead of what you cannot control, traffic. Humor also helps us deal with difficult emotions. Life is full of ups and downs, and sometimes we feel sad, angry, or scared. Stoicism teaches us that these emotions are natural, but we should not let them control us. Instead, we should try to understand why we feel this way and find a way to move forward. Humor can be a helpful tool in this process. When we laugh, even in difficult situations, we remind ourselves that life is not always as serious as it seems. For example, if you fail at something important, like a job interview or a test, you might feel very disappointed. But if you can find a way to laugh at the situation, maybe by making a joke about how bad your answer weighs, you can start to feel better. Laughing helps us see that failure is not the end of the world, and it gives us the strength to try again. Now let's talk about how to use humor in a Stoic way. First, it is important to remember that humor should not be used to hurt others or make fun of people's problems. Stoicism is about treating others with kindness and respect, so we should always be careful not to use humor in a mean or cruel way. Instead, we should use humor to make ourselves and others feel better. For example, if a friend is feeling sad, you could tell a funny story to cheer them up. Or if you are feeling stressed, you could watch a funny movie or read a funny book. The goal is to use humor to bring joy and light into your life, not to make others feel bad. Second, it is important to use humor to put things in perspective. Sometimes we get so caught up in our problems that we forget how small they are in the grand scheme of things. Humor can help us step back and see the bigger picture. For example, if you are worried about a small mistake you made at work, you could make a joke about how no one will even remember it in a week. By laughing at the situation, you remind yourself that most problems are not as big as they seem. This is a very Stoic way of thinking because it helps us focus on what really matters and let go of the small stuff. Finally, humor can help us face our fears. Stoicism teaches us that fear is often worse than the thing we are afraid of. We might be scared of failing, or of what other people think of us, or of things that are outside of our control. But when we laugh at our fears, we take away their power. For example, if you are afraid of public speaking, you could make a joke about how nervous you are before you start your speech. By laughing at your fear, you show yourself that it is not as scary as it seems. This can help you feel more confident and in control. In conclusion, humor is an important part of Stoicism because it helps us see the world in a different way, accept the things we cannot control, and deal with difficult emotions. It is a tool that we can use to bring joy and light into our lives, even in the face of challenges. But it is important to use humor in a kind and respectful way, and to remember that it is not a way to ignore our problems, but a way to face them with strength and courage. So the next time you face a difficult situation, try to find something funny about it. Laugh at the small things, and remember that life is not always as serious as it seems. By using humor in a Stoic way, you can find peace and happiness, no matter what life throws at you.